skin in the game. Hi everyone, we're coming in live from Token 2049 and I have with us a really interesting guest here on Voice of Crypto's show today. Chelsea from Chorus is here with us and she is this amazing lady from Japan and she's going to tell us all about the amazing things that are happening in the DeFi space in Japan. Hi Chelsea, it's great to have you on our show. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy to be in Singapore.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do at Chorus, how did you come up with the idea of this brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was formerly head of marketing at a major layer 2 called BTX. While there, myself as well as a few developers on the team, we had some gaps in needs in delivering on content creation through the community. The community is quite large. We had tens of thousands of people that were actively posting and sharing information, but we wouldn't have an ambassador program or reward or just kind of tailor or make campaigns more specific to what we needed as a marketing team. So myself and the developers, we started to build our own application to be able to support those needs. And so we built a marketing application. We use Superfluid like streaming payments. Those streaming payments are paid directly to content creators from brands and marketers to promote campaigns and content and bring awareness to initiatives that the brand or company is looking to spread awareness for. So the content creators are being paid in streaming crypto payments, and they can actively find opportunities to get these offers too. So it's really great for the content creators. It's really easier for them to actually find and get paid instantaneously without having to go through negotiations with brands or certain payment delays. They know immediately it's transparent on chain what they're submitting content for, and the payments are directly starting to distribute to their wallet.
Absolutely. So content creation has been one of the in jobs of the decade, so to say. However, Web2 content creation and Web3 content creation has a stark difference. If we look at Web3 content creator, there's sort of discrepancy. You can't almost sometimes you can't associate names to faces, and yet the Web3 content economy is moving. It is evolving as decentralized finance continues to evolve. So, what are your thoughts on the evolving content creator economy in Japan as well as across the globe? Of course, Web3 content creator economy.
Yeah, sure. So that's a good point for Web2 differentiators with Web3. I think Web3, one thing that we have that makes us different from Web2 is community. So part of these projects, there's communities that come together who have perhaps skin in the game or some type of commitment or investment in a certain project that makes them want to participate. They can be rewarded for their work directly or indirectly. So the community aspect is a lot different for Web2 and Web3. And I think that that is something to our advantage in Web3. A lot of Web3 projects have the ability to have organic promotion or organic marketing.
Yeah.
We call it marketing, but just organic supporters community. And then in terms of Japan, I think that I'm half Japanese myself, and I think that the community is very positive and buzzing, and even the government has more progressive regulation and clear regulation for crypto companies as well as crypto builders, NFT creators. So crypto has always been heavily embraced in Japan, actually. Satoshi Nakamoto, for instance, perhaps he's not actually Japanese, but that definitely gives us a little bit of clout in Japan. But earlier days, there was the Mt. Gox hack in 2014. That was a Japanese exchange. When that happened, the Japanese government, they had taken steps to understand and try to protect consumers, but they created more clear regulation. So the government actually knows, not knows, but the consumers or crypto companies, they have better understanding of what they can and can't do, and they have clear regulation, which in some parts that hasn't been established yet in other parts of the world, like the United States. They're still kind of going through right now the ropes of trying to figure out what they will do and how they'll regulate. So Japan has more clear regulations in that way. And then I think culturally, there's some reasons why NFTs, for instance, are embraced as kind of normal. It's not something that's childish. It's not something that is just for kids, like cartoons and anime and manga is a part of the Japanese culture for adults, children alike. And so NFTs tie into that. And also just like the collectible culture and that's also something that's popular there. So that's another part of NFT trading of the NFTs, for instance, or owning official ownership of certain characters. So I think that's really cool, and there's some really great practice that we can be really clear on the artwork, and which is very impressive.
Absolutely. Well, you very rightly pointed out the key difference in terms of attitude that there is in Southeast Asia countries, Japan, China, South Korea. India is now a budding destination for Web3 projects. And I'm sure that there is some element of that investors, entrepreneurs from across the globe towards countries like Japan. So how do you think the Web3 growth will look like in Japan over the next couple of years? I'm pretty sure that Japan is already ahead of the times in terms of digital ownership or even the gaming economy. Japanese have understood games and digital ownership a lot better than the rest of the world has, which you rightly mentioned. So how do you think this sort of an attitude would power investors, entrepreneurs from the rest of the world to sort of look towards these areas, which they already are in terms of business?
Yes, I think that for one, there's a lot of developers out of Japan and also out of Asia in general. But Japan too, there is a lot of developers. So in terms of like infrastructure projects, applications, and different types of consumer apps, I think there's a lot of innovation that is occurring in Japan. For one, so I think in terms of investors to look at what's being built in Japan, there's definitely growth in that area. In addition, I think that it's experimental to the government in Japan has experimented with crypto. For instance, I think it was 2022. The government issued out NFTs to certain mayors throughout Japan, and it was kind of like a badge, an NFT badge. But that's an experiment in itself. And Amazon had accepted the Japanese stablecoin, JPY coin. So I think that there's definitely like more experimentation and dabbling. And like with the pandemic, Japan is known to be a cash society, but the pandemic has changed that a lot. And if you go to Tokyo now, digital payments are very, very popular. There's so many different digital apps for payments, and I think that there could be an introduction to that being more normalized for crypto itself. But there's still, of course, the onboarding hurdle of crypto, like anywhere in the world, and that just comes through innovation and the need to build applications and tools that are really usable and easy to onboard. So I think that that's where the development and the growth and the need for investment to come in to help stimulate that.
Absolutely, very well said. India, you see, you are the center of, let's say, Web3 creator economy, and I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities in this sector. With a lot of opportunities come a lot of challenges. If you talk about a few challenges that you have come across, or we as a sector need to battle in terms of the growth of the Web3 creator economy, what would they be?
I think finding a bridge between the monetization or the creator economy. We're an economy here. And what is crypto? It's cryptocurrency, blockchain and transaction layers. So finding just the right mark of how can it scale the payments, and how can we use cryptocurrency to actually help build out that creator economy, make it more accessible, and help even alleviate barriers to entry for content creators themselves. So if you look at YouTube or Twitter, there's a high barrier to entry to get paid from the platforms. You need to have a certain amount of streams, a certain amount of subscribers, etc. Same thing for X. But with crypto, there could be new ways of any company being able to programmatically pay content creators, and then the content creators themselves having more options for brands. This is what we do at Chorus. Brands to directly pay the content creators versus just being like the platforms themselves, like the social networks. And so more options for brands to pay content creators, I think, in programmatic methods to make it more automated, seamless, and easy. And, like just lifting the burden off of the marketer to scale it out to hundreds or thousands of people who are talking about their brand and deservingly should get paid for that.
Absolutely. If we talk about social media platforms, while there are a lot of decentralized social media platforms coming up, none have sort of made it to the mainstream, or have made it to the limelight, or have gotten the right in the limelight. And if you look at the social media market, it's still dominated by some of the top players, despite X being owned by someone like Elon, who's himself a Web3 fanatic. How far do you think we are from social media platforms embracing a decentralized way?
That's a very good question. I'm a huge Lens protocol fan. I use that very often. I just name drop them because I see that as a great first step to having decentralized applications that you can do different types of like you can have a YouTube or a video account or a Twitter account or an Instagram like account, and it all be owned by your wallet. So you can have portability across different applications, but it's still decentralized. It's not owned by just like one specific company or multiple big companies. You own your content, and that is through your wallet, which then ties into the economy part, and how people can actually start monetizing their content. So I hope that explains. But I'm not sure that the major Web2 social apps and networks are very interested at all in decentralization yet. I think Elon dabbles in perhaps maybe some crypto payments in the future. I think that might be coming, but I'm not sure if it'll be decentralized as we know it in Web3.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you have any final words, Obi?
I would say that I'm excited for the growth in the content creator space. Content creators themselves, they do deserve to get paid and have opportunities. And I think that every day people are posting and streaming and sharing what they love. And so it should be an opportunity